We all know that the song Shine from Collective Soul is one of the rock anthems. If you've never seen it live, your opportunity tonight at the Brown County Music Center. And we are so honored to be joined by the great bassist of this great band. We love Collective Soul around these parts. I was just watching, Will Turpin, by the way, is joining us. Will, I was just watching you guys at the Ryman Auditorium on YouTube. What is that like to be playing the Grand Ole Opry?
The Ryman's great. I mean, there's DNA and legacy just dripping off the walls in there. The wooden theaters, the wooden stages, those just sound so comfortable and so good.
As far as acoustics and what you're hearing, as far as the band, it must be just
The
magic.
band, we feel really, what we say is tight. A stage like that feels tight to us because there's not a lot of frequencies bouncing around. The wood absorbs it pretty good bit, so it feels tight to us.
Man, when was the last time you guys played Indianapolis?
We played the infield once during.
That's right.
Yeah, that must have been 10 years ago. The years are a little blurry after 30. I can't tell the difference between 6 years ago and 15 years ago.
That's what happens. It's the world of rock and roll. It moves really fast, doesn't it?
Moves fast, and some things seem like yesterday and they were 12 years ago, and then some things seem like they're so long ago and it was only 7 years ago. So it's just, I don't know. It's always just.
As far as just like your vibe, your own vibe in music, what's your favorite Collective Soul record to play like live for your fans? Because I know I've been to a couple of your shows, man. It's just, it's a dedicated audience. So what's your favorite thing to play up on stage for them?
Yeah, it's like, Collective Soul, all of our records, nothing's, we were never known for filler. So the fans really appreciate and know all those songs on the records.
Yeah.
The one I've been appreciating the most lately is probably Discipline Breakdown, the third record we did. I just really liked that the adverse situation we were in with our manager and not being able to get paid after 2 records. Everything was locked up in courts, and we kept going forward as a team, and we knew where we wanted to go. And it's like it didn't even trip us up and with Collective Soul, yeah, man, we don't stop. We never have.
Yeah.
So we went right back in the studio and started recording stuff whenever it was, whenever we felt like it was safe to start getting together again. So yeah, man, we even a little bit of this record we got coming out next year. That's really the exciting news is for Collective Soul is next year is 30 years that we are celebrating.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy, isn't it? I mean, how time flies. We were just talking about it. It's just nuts. 30 years.
So 30 years. The quintessential Collective Soul documentary will be out next year.
Yeah.
And of course, like I said, we kept recording. So we this year we finished up what's going to be a double album that'll be out. Right now it's slated for release April 2024. So we're 6 months away from a double record.
Wow. Fantastic. Hey, talk to me about your dad's recording studio. Were you born in Alaska? Is that what I saw somewhere? Like you were born in Alaska, and then you guys moved and your dad opened a studio that became actually pretty successful, right?
Yeah, it would have been what, kind of not necessarily the A leagues, but it was like the stepbrother of the A leagues of studios in Atlanta. There's a lot of fun stuff that came through there.
Alaska to Atlanta.
Well, the Alaska thing is it's easy to understand. My dad was failing out of college in 1969, 1970. And when you go and audition for a spot or go apply for a spot in the Army, you can do better than if you get drafted. And he certainly would have been drafted when you're failing out of college. So before he even got the grades, he went and auditioned for the Army band as a drummer, and he made a spot in the Army band, and they sent him to Fairbanks, Alaska to entertain the troops there at Fort Wainwright Army base, which is where I was born. So I didn't live there more than, I think it was like 14 months, maybe 15 months, 14 to 16 months.
Right. Right. That's
I was tired of that place. I was ready to move on,
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. And so you've recorded in that space. Has Collective Soul recorded in your dad's space?
Yeah, we've gotten together here in the new space, and of course, the original space is where we came from.
Yeah.
Ed would have been head engineer at the original studio,
Great.
and we all, me and my buddies were coming up through high school, and
Oh, man.
that's where that was our hub. That was Ed likes to call it, that was my dad set the fertile ground for us to learn and figure out how to do this rock and roll recording thing.
Man, such a great story. Will, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Radio is still valid, and we need it, and so do all of our new artists out there. We do need radio still. So,
Hey, man, I love every second of that. Thank you. Appreciate Oh, I love everybody talking good about radio because it is so still relevant. Hey, thank you so much, Will Turpin. We'll see you tonight, Brown County Music Center with 92.3 WTTS, Collective Soul.